the Mac Room, which I'm really excited for. But yeah, I've got nothing to add other than good morning, y'all. I'm so excited about today. We've got National Call this afternoon. We've got new agent welcome in the Mac Room for our second week in a row running that. Excited for all of it. And Andrew, I'm going to turn this show over to you, brother.
Jim, you got to give me host.
Go ahead.
Let me do that, Joe. I don't even know how to do that. I don't know how do I do that. I'm working from my phone here. Don't work the way I want it to. There we go. I did it. I can do hard things, guys. All
Cool.
right, Andrew, all yours, brother.
All right, my friend. So I got a message today, but before I kind of get into exactly that, I'm wearing orange today, not my usual black or white that I normally wear. But basically, I got a chance to hang out with one of my good buddies who's moving to Seattle. And we had a good friend that was diagnosed with cancer about 2 years ago. It was appendix cancer. Thought it went into remission. He was 99% clear, 31 years old, just got married last year in November, you know, and just wasn't feeling well again. And turns out there was a huge blockage because it had metastasized in his colon. And so now he's got to start chemo. And so just kind of got me thinking around like, hey, why are we here in the first place? It's kind of probably to build those moments or build this business to have those moments with our friends, our family, our loved ones that are unreleased by the expectation of time or money, right? We want to be able to stretch as far as we can without touching a wall and stretch as high as we can without touching a ceiling, right? To not have our options limited just because we can't afford it or we don't have the time to actually do it. So I'm just going to ask you this is like kind of what if we just stop sweating the small stuff a little bit, right? How many dials that you didn't get to, what your life pulled you away from, but rather focused on, are we working towards the progressive goal that we need to hit? That what if we just got rid of all the things that, were stopping us from all of a sudden questioning why am I like this? What's happening? How come I'm not doing what's necessary? Like to get rid of those types of questions and stop saying a lot less of wow and start asking just more like how. And then once after you do that, asking yourself a little bit of what's next. Because I think about my buddy Richard and he's in good spirits. Like I think that's one thing I'll always admire about him. He's like, it is what it is. The truth of the matter is God's got the final decision no matter what the doctors say, right? And he's gonna fight same way he's been fighting the whole way. I'm gonna be there with him to make sure he knows that he's got people the same way all of you guys on this call. I know we've been doing this cancer throughout the week, and we all been wearing certain colors for stuff. I want to let you guys know if you got people out there that are fighting, you're unsure. Tomorrow I'm gonna wear blue for testicular cancer. I got a couple agents that have that or have had it and are in remission. But I know it's not something that men even talk about, right? Because it's like, their manhood. But I think it is something super important, guys, that stay healthy, get yourself checked up on, eliminate that part of the worry outside of your head so you can go ahead and pursue that. God forbid something did come down the line and all of a sudden now your health has impeded your ability to do as much as that you wanted to do. You've built a business that you've got doing 10 to 15 to 20 to 30 to $40,000 a month passively. So you can focus on your health while still creating the impact. And I think that's one of the greatest gifts this business has done is gives people the ability to continue to work at the capacity they can work while still making great income, guys. We can turn around an application with a few 30 minutes of dialing, right? You can run an appointment on the spot or book it for a little bit later, write another application 45 minutes later and make yourself $1,000. The average person doesn't get that. They got to go to work for 40 hours a week, usually 2 weeks in a row before they see the paycheck. Remember that. Remember the blessing that is that you can turn around, have the opportunity to make the income and work at the capacity that you want. So that's my little fast piece there. I've got the next one. Rod, that sandwich looks fantastic too, dude. So let me know what you're working with, Poppy. That looked fantastic. That was a good, solid bite, man. So let's talk, my friends, about really what I think is just stepping up our own game. So in this business, right, we come in, we're learning mortgage protection, we're learning term life, we're learning life insurance. At some point, we've got to start thinking to ourselves, we've got to move past this idea of just peddling insurance. Okay, we focus on three big things, right? Production, building, and resets. And if you focus on those three pillars of development here of your agents, like your insurance agent professionalism, trust me, you're going to have more income. Building is going to drive everything. Reset's going to provide what I think is the higher caliber of your career, while also the life insurance, the term, the life, that's kind of the pieces that you can offer. So I want you guys to understand this. We've got to move from just being a one-trick pony. If you are a one-trick pony here, meaning that you can only sell term and whole life, and you've been here for over a year or 2 years, it's time to learn something new. You've been holding yourself back from understanding that we got to go ahead and also be better at being a financial professional. We got to move from just being an insurance agent to financial advisors. Okay. So the first thing I want you to kind of think about is for yourself and the people that you work with, what's the agent development path? Kind of what are you learning about, right? Maybe first year you just start with your life insurance, your term, your whole life, and you learn how resets work. You learn how to do those warm handoffs. You take it under advisement that I'm going to work with Wilbur and he's going to really show me. I don't know if Wilbur's an SME. He's just in my top left corner here. But I work with Wilbur and he kind of shows me how he really integrates IULs and annuities into these clients to help them offer something new. Because here's the thing, guys, after you get about, let's say 300 clients, you got 150 clients you wrote this year. Heck, let's say it takes you 3 years to get 300 clients. 100 clients this year, 100 clients the next year, 100 clients the year after. Once you get to that 300 number, you should be able to continue to go back and rework those clients over and over and over if you have something new to offer them. You can't just keep going back and reoffering a new type of whole life insurance. We got to be able to offer them, maybe at this point it's, annuities. Maybe it's an IUL for their kid, right? Maybe it's long-term care because you went and got your certifications for that. Maybe it's something like you wanted to learn estate planning. I think that is a hugely underserved market for as many clients as we work with. Y'all, we all got clients that have yet to set up their will and yet to put it together a trust. Imagine the bankroll that would come with having just knowing how to do that, or having a referral and warm handoffs already set up for that for every single one of your clients. Trust me, you could easily get yourself in a lot of areas with that. But basically just moving from a one-trick pony. Okay. So what's your development path? And then what is your agent's development path? Because here's the main thing is every single year we talk about growing. We talk about reading books. We talk about developing ourselves. Are we developing our career as well? Our business knowledge, our business acumen of this industry so that we can actually go out there in year 2, provide something more for the other clients. Because here's what I know for a fact, Chris Johnson. I know for a fact, brother, that over the last 6 months, there's applications that have been written by everybody here. And there's clients that 6 months ago were on your calendar that you wrote a policy with, that you have yet to speak with, text with, talk to, mention about. And if you went back to your clients and you go ahead and take every single one of those appointments that you sat with or wrote an application for, hit duplicate and fast forward 6 months, a lot of you guys would already have 5 appointments set up for this week. And it's an easy policy review. It's an easy check-in. It's an easy, hey, how you doing? You're their insurance agent. You're their financial provider, professional, guys. There is a moment in time, if you haven't had it already, you will get a phone call. And I'll very quickly tell you this story. It was with Val and Rosaline. And with Val, I'd helped him out. He lived out here in Phoenix, wrote him in 2017, 2018. I wrote him a policy, $75 a month, United Home Life, $7,000 policy. Basically just paid 3 months of expenses. Val was like 70 something, 74. Rosaline was older than him. She was like 79, lots of health conditions, retired teacher. I remember getting a quick phone call out of nowhere and it's just from their son. They're just like, hey, Andrew, your number was on this policy my dad had. We have no idea what to do with any of this stuff. Can you come help us out? And so I go and I get there and I remember the house. I remember sitting down. They didn't even have a dining room table. We had to do it over TV dinner pop-up stands in their living room. And so again, I walk into this living room, whole love seat, papers everywhere in the middle. They moved out the coffee table. Val's recliner chair was empty. That was his seat, and Rosaline was on the other side. And I remember going to Rosaline, checking on her, and just kind of walking through what it was. And the only thing that she could consistently say was like, I never thought that I was going to have to deal with this. Not before him. She was the one with all the health conditions. And to come to find out how Val passed was in 2020. It was at the height of COVID. It was April of 2020. Val had a heart attack and Rosaline had to watch him pass away through a video screen because they weren't letting any visitors because COVID is what it was what it was with the hospitals. And see, guys, the most important thing was that $7,000 policy that Val was paying $70 a month on. Like it was nothing. Okay. That $7,000 policy. The mistake Rosaline made was this, as she started making phone calls to all the banks and credit cards and shutting everything down, completely locked up all their income. No one could access anything on the bank. His Social Security and his disability was paying for most of the funds. She was going to be out of money in about a month. That $7,000 policy issued inside of 10 days and took care of all of her bills for 3 months. So I want to tell you guys, no matter how big the policy, no matter how large the premium, you're doing a service to those people, because here's what happened next over those 3 months. You know what it gave her? All of the worry outside about all the bills being paid, house, food, etc. Sons were able to help with some of the other things. I'm sorry, house, electricity, keep things running. Sons were able to help some of the other things. On top of that, she wanted out of the house. So I connected her with a real estate friend that I had out here in Arizona. They sold the house inside of 3 months. She pocketed a great amount of cash just due to COVID. And she moved closer to the sons who live on the other side of town. And she got into a smaller condo, easier, closer, 10 minutes away versus 40 minutes away from the kids because of a $7,000 policy. See, what we do matters. And what we need to do, my friends, is develop our own values of what matters here. So here's my challenge. Okay, so y'all write this down. And I want this done by this weekend. Really kind of think about your development here, of what you want your career to be like. How do you want to not just serve your clients, but serve your friends, serve your family, and so many others. We need to run a tighter ship. Okay. And don't let the money and premium be a part of these core values. That's out the window. Okay. That's a result of what we do, not what we're working for. Right. So some of the values I think I uphold, and I'm going to throw these out here, and my thing for you guys is translate these core values into what they need to look like in your business. So we always do what's right for the client, full integrity. No ifs, no ands, no buts about it, right? If you're not putting them to a better policy, why write it? Be the first person to tell them that this is a luxury. Be the first person to tell them that they don't need it. Be the first person to tell them that they're actually in the best position possible. And you're so happy that they did what they needed to do. Maybe it's letting them know the bad parts of whatever you're about to write, so that they know that you're being honest and with them, willing to lose the sale, full integrity. Take the personal responsibility. We don't have victims here. It's not the lead's fault. It's not your manager's fault. It's not the carrier's fault. It's my fault. 100% responsibility, 0 victims. We do what's necessary to win no matter what. Guys, we heard yesterday on our Wayland call, people on the funnel and the dial count that they're getting, 800 dials is a new 300. Like they're able to get 800 dials in the same week that normal people are putting up 250 on their cell phone. So like, what we waiting for kind of thing. If you got A leads, if you're working CIs, you're working digital leads, you may make way less dials, but I'm telling you this, it's like, man, no victims here. We control everything. And if all we're doing is not doing what's necessary to learn a new skill or learn how to use some technology that can make our lives easier so we can impact and have the financial professional career that we need to have, that's a responsibility thing. Personal growth. Again, values, integrity, responsibility, personal growth. What are my growth goals for the year? What am I going to learn about this quarter? What am I going to learn about this year to advance my skill set? Like, is this the year that I focus on really learning how to go ahead and do resets more effectively? Or am I learning maybe that next rendition and you're the type of Derek Fitzgerald or Daniel Armstrong that can go out there and do their IBC and annuities like to a highest level of mastery? Well, can you now start offering long-term care? Can you now start offering estate planning? Like what, even if you guys that are super good at this business, there's another skill set that you can offer. How can we go develop that? This is our career. This ain't just like, I'm going to give it another 5 years and I'm going to ride off into the sunset. Guys, this could pay you hundreds of thousands of dollars and millions of dollars passively for the rest of your life. I'm going to go to the 20 after because I got one more thing to share big business wise. Okay. The last thing is everything is about relationships. Clients, carriers, managers, agents, company. You make this thing about the best possible thing that number one core value about Symmetry, relationships matter and people come first. I promise you, the rest of the things will work out because you're keeping what matters most. It's a people business. So I'm going to wrap up with this. Got a chance to meet this guy. His name's Danny Gordon. In the insurance world, I've been thankful enough and grateful enough to be connected with two guys that I think are extremely well off. Sold multiple businesses, over 100 million. So just imagine this. Both of these guys separately built 3 companies to basically the size of Symmetry, or a third of the size of Symmetry, 100 million, and then sold those insurance agencies. Okay, so it's larger than Marshall, larger than Edward, did it 3 times, sold them over and over and over. Very well off. And so I'm going to get a chance to chat with both of them. One did it in long-term care. Danny ends up continuing to do it. He did health insurance, and he went to annuities, and he went to AUM, and so on. But the one thing Danny said, he said, people just got to realize this. It's the same thing across the board in insurance everywhere. You got your upper third, your middle third, and the bottom third. And he said, in the bottom third, that's the people who've been here for a while that just ain't doing enough. They've been here for 3 months, 6 months, a year, and they're just still finding themselves, in their words, stuck. They have all the tools, they have all the ability. There's just something that's holding them back. It's for them to figure it out. Us as managers, we got to realize we can't keep trying to save the struggling survivors. That's their job and their responsibility to not play victim anymore, to move forward. Next thing Danny said, he said he got that middle third. Those middle third are your brand new guys inside of 3 months, as well as the individuals who are coming in here that are doing the job. They're putting up the numbers. They're actually hitting the metrics and the standard that you need to set, that was set. And he says in his world, and he has another insurance company that he's building, the dude's like 75 right now. And he has over, to give you guys an idea, he has $200,000 a month of passive income coming in from his health insurance stuff. Like insane amounts of money. And he's still going out there and selling policies. And he told me about a policy. He bought a $5 health insurance lead that he turned into, over a 10-year period, 300 grand worth of commissions. It turned into first health insurance, annuity, AUM, single premium whole life policy. 4 policies over a 10-year period, $300,000 from a single lead. Developing our skill set. So he said, then lastly, that upper third, he said, Andrew, it doesn't have to be that whole message that everyone says, like, oh, 80% of your production comes from 20% of people. He's like, that's all BS. He said it's just about focusing on the 66%, those brand new guys that are here within their first 3 months, and the guys who are already doing everything they need to be doing, helping them be even better than they already are, while helping the new guys develop and understand what their true potential is. You focus on that, watch everything else work out. This is coming from a guy that, has made so much money in the insurance world. I don't think we can even fathom at this point what 200 grand of just pure passive residuals might look and feel like, unless you get a chance to get connected to Marshall and Edward and understand what they're doing right now. But I can tell you guys this can be the longest career you've ever had. It can be the greatest career you've ever had. And it can be the most fruitful and lucrative career you could even ever dream of, as long as we do what's necessary. So my challenge, go out there, develop your values, get that done by this weekend, share it with your mentor, share it with your manager. What are you going to learn this year, this quarter, that's going to set you up for 2026? Because you did the work to build the skill set. And I think for a lot of us right now, it's resets and warm handoffs. You get better at that, watch the rest of the stuff work out. All right, everybody. Can we go move to breakouts? I know Jim's going to be running, so I'll just kind of wrap it up here. Guys, we'll go to breakouts. Larson group, hand at hand, stay here. Everyone else, jump on board, and we'll see you in the workroom.
Sorry, I messed up.
You're good. I can stall more. I'm good at
Hey,
it.
you're good. Now we're open.
Hey, Larson, people are staying here. Good morning, everybody. How's everybody doing? Still a few people moving. I think we're about there. I'm going to go ahead and share my screen. Anybody that doesn't know where to go, you can stay here if you want. You are welcome to stay here, or you can join your AO if you aren't sure where to go. And I just need a thumbs up from somebody letting me know you can see my screen okay. Can somebody give me a thumbs up that you can see the screen? Beautiful.
We can, JT.
All right, beautiful. Thanks, everybody. Hey, good morning. What an amazing 15, 20 minutes we just had. I don't know about the rest of you guys, but I got a ton of notes from Andrew. That was powerful stuff. That was just really, really good. So I'm going to start with a question. When we got back from conference, Jim asked everybody a question. I don't know how many of you remember this, but he asked, what are you going to do different? My question today, as we close in on the end of this 5-week period, what have you done different? What have you done different since conference? What impacted you that you're doing different? Because guys, ladies, it's the end of the month. It's Wednesday, Thursday, Friday at midnight. I know some of you guys are on fire. Some of you guys are hitting your targets. Some of you guys have a little work to do. So let's go walk through this a little bit. I'm going to concentrate mostly on the monthly activity and just glancing at what took place on Tuesday. So we'll start with Trinity. Trinity, you're hitting the phones hard. Love to see that. 113 dials, 3 contacts, 1 set, 1 run. Unfortunately, didn't turn into a sale, but look at where your numbers are. 2197 for monthly calls. Phenomenal. 19,164. 19,000. 1 sale away from hitting that 20,000 goal. Now, I know it's got an asterisk here, so I know Jim boosted you, okay? And I know you're going to hit it. You got this, girl. Go after it. Miss Sarah, superstar, always hits her numbers. Having a little bit of an off time here, but hey, you've been out of the office a little bit. Numbers are falling in here. You got this. You got 3 days. You can get a couple more policies each day. I know you can. You've done it. You got that capacity. You're at about 4,000. Got a little ways to go. And Christine, okay, hitting the phones hard as always. Look at the dials, 25, 28, 60 contacts, 17 that you've actually spoke to. Set appointments with. 1 run. We got a little bit of a disconnect there, okay? But the one you did run, you got a sale. You're halfway, almost halfway to your target. I know you got this. You can get this done. Okay, Miss Marcy had a goal of 5,000. A little over halfway there. You're at 3,000. Yesterday, out of office, 855 dials, 73 contacts, 13 were set, 9 were run. Fantastic. 6 appointments sold. And here's the neat thing. You're just a victim of some smaller policies. That happens to all of us. But you certainly have had the numbers in here to hit that goal. So wrap it up. You got a couple more, 3 more days to get those numbers in. Molly, you were out of the office on Sunday. Low dial numbers, Molly. I know you're capable of hitting these numbers. You're just short of your target, but these numbers don't look too bad when you look at how many appointments you actually set versus how many showed up. And your disconnect is just the 17 to 3. We'll tighten that up a little bit. You will easily start hitting those targets. You got that activity right there is good. A little more phone call activity will help you with that. Jordan, 88 calls yesterday. You got something pending. Not sure what that might be because it won't register with pending in there. But you're at just under 10,000. Your target is 10,000. Now, I know that Jim boosted you because there's an asterisk there. So I think you were a little bit lower to start. You're going to nail this. 1 more policy. You got that done. Kareem, you are 122 dials yesterday. Nice job. Really good numbers over here. 1,509 calls, 91, 50% of that roughly. You got 43 booked. 17 actually showed up and 8 actually turned into policies. You're just short again of the numbers that you're looking for. So a couple more policies between now and Friday and you'll smoke that number. Well done. Kurt, 106 dials yesterday. Kurt, unfortunately, only 1 appointment out of 1 appointment set out of your 2 contacts yesterday. You got a disconnect here between the number of people that are actually picking up the phone and you're having a conversation with to how many you actually book. But when you actually do book them, those numbers are really, really good. And you smoked your goal. So I'm very, very excited to see that. A little bit of work to do on closing that ratio up. All right. Myself, only 39 dials yesterday, booked 3, 2 set, 1 run, 1 sale. 1127 for dials, 74 people during the month I have spoke to, set 50 appointments, 32 of them that I ran, 14 sales. I need to tighten that up just a little bit more. And I'm still a little short of my target. I have a couple more sales I need to get in for myself to hit where I'm shooting for. And yes, Jim did up my number. Ben, you got 1 challenge. It's really just getting those dial numbers up. When I look at what your results are over here, really, really, really good. Okay, really good. 947 calls, 82 people you spoke to, 47 booked with you, 33 showed up, 10 you wrote business with, and you smoked your target. So you're doing really, really well there. Upping those numbers on the dials will certainly help you increase that overall sale number for you. But again, you smoked your number. How do you say that? Kara? Sorry. 138 dials, 30 contacts. Okay, we can see a little disconnect there. No appointments set. And it's consistent when we go over here, 140 dials and 14 people set appointments, 2 showed up, 1 sale. You're halfway to your target. Get one more nice sale in, you'll actually hit your target. I would work really hard at pushing through the conversation. Don't take the first no. Ask another question. Keep that going long enough to get a few more appointments out of that hard work that you're putting in, because you definitely can improve that number. All right, Kurt. Okay, 62 dials yesterday. And let's see, 1,066 calls for the month so far. Good numbers, 73 contacts, 24, a little bit lower there than we'd like to see. The big disconnect is how many showed up, the show ratio. You got a little work to do there, but literally 2 out of 5 sales for people that showed up. And you're just one good sale away from hitting your target. So I know you can do this. Easy peasy, 3 days to go. Maura, out of the office yesterday, 750 dials, 57 appointment contacts during the month, 17, a little bit of a disconnect there. But then once you get them in, you did pretty good. You got 8 of them showed up, and you made 2 sales, and you're almost at your target. A couple more sales before the end of the month, and you will hit your target. Ace, not showing up. Ace, you got this, man. We know you can do this. 124 dials, that's enough to make anybody frustrated. Get with your team and find out how you can tighten that ratio up a little bit. And the one thing I know you're going to hear is more dials, because you got to put the work in to get the results. And no sales for the month. Man, you're better than that, Ace. I know you are. You got this, man. Get with your team, and let's figure that out. Luke, let's see. Luke worked for a while yesterday. Hit his target for the month. Luke at 656 dials. Really, Luke, that's about 2 weeks work at the most. You really got to work on those dials a little bit and get that number up. 106 contacts. Again, same thing, Luke. You need to get with your team and find out what the disconnect is between contacts and how many people are booking with you. Once you get there, you're doing pretty good. 11, 4, and 1, not horrible numbers. But I know if we can increase that number 11 up to about 50 out of all those contacts, you'll be much happier with that end result. Laura, didn't finish filling in your numbers, Laura, so I'm not sure what else was in here, but the dials, that's about a day and a half most on dials. Laura, you are over halfway to your goal. A couple more sales, you can easily do that. But you got to get those phone dials up. That's going to be the Achilles heel for you. The phone doesn't weigh anymore when you're inviting somebody to take a look at what we can do for them than it does inviting them over for a barbecue. You got this, girl. Okay. Anna, let's see. Target was 10,000. Nice job, Anna. You're over 13,000 for the month. And look at these numbers: 82, 39, 29, and 7. Little disconnect on the bottom end of that, but not bad. You hit your targets. I think you've got a couple more in you. If we can tighten that 29 and 7 ratio just a little bit, well, Anna, you're going to see some amazing numbers. You're going to start hitting big numbers every month. Anna, out of office yesterday, but look at the production of numbers here. How many calls she's put in, working her tail off. And again, the contact versus how many people are setting an appointment. Still got a disconnect here to work on. And then another one is when 16 show up, that's not horrible, okay? But you're only getting 1 sale out of that. So I want you to get with your team and work on those 2 things a little bit. 1,600, your target was 5. You can get that. I know you can get that. That's not that big of a spread. Okay. And Ernestine, let's see, look at the numbers, 2863 for calls, had a goal of 15,000. Ernestine, you're at 785. I know you're better than that. You know you're better than that. You kicked this thing, girl. You got this. A little bit low on your contact to appointment, but then you're really right on target here for contact to appointment. Your disconnect has been nailing it down at the end. Go look at some of the tie down lines to get the sale through. Let's make sure you're not dropping the ball somehow there. You got this. You got 3 days to put in a bunch of sales. Let's just get a couple more sales, get that number back up, get you feeling a little better. Amanda, let's see. Amanda was out of the office over the weekend. Amanda, you're light on the calls. I'm not sure if we need to work on that a little bit. That 428 to 71 appointments, it's a little bit off, but once you drop below that, it gets a lot better. Not sure how you did 22 appointments set and 24 run, but that's some of that cool math that we have in today's world, but you're just short of your target. One more sale, you got this, girl. I know you can finish this out big. It's your month, girl, go get it. And then Lauren, holy cow, where are we at here? Look at this, 18,203. One, maybe 2 sales away from hitting that $20,000 target. I know you got this. Look at these numbers, beautiful. 89 appointments set, 51 contacts, 51 set, 30 showed, and 20 purchased. That is textbook right there. That is just beautiful. So stay on that. Lauren, you got this. Susan, holy cow, look at this. 1,100 calls, 13,855. Call it 14,000. Your target was 17,500. Jim put a star in there, so I know he added to that. You got this, girl. There is no question about it. Look at these numbers. Just really good. A little bit off on that first one, but then 62 set, 36 showed, and 15 purchased. Man, that is beautiful. Okay, Mr. Fletcher. Okay, the dials are there, Fletcher. The contacts are a little bit crazy there. But what's really working against you right now, Fletcher, is you got to get that set appointment up. That's really killing you. I can help you with that for sure. The 3 that were set and showed up, okay, again, a little bit of a disconnect there. That should really be a little higher. And 1 sale. Fletcher, you had a target of 4,000. You're about halfway there. You got 3 days. Let's get it done. Johnny Yepes. Man, I had the privilege of meeting Johnny and spending some time with him when we were at conference. Love you, brother. Hey, man, look at you. 11,000, 12,000 right now. Just a little off your target. 3 days, Johnny. That's nothing for you. You got this with your eyes closed and your hands tied behind your back, brother. I know you got this. 38 people you spoke to, 16 you set appointments with. 7 showed up, a little disconnect there for you. You're usually a little higher than that. And lastly, look at this, 7 presentations, 5 sales. Johnny, go get those last few sales in, kill that target, man. You got this. Tamara, let's see, 1,100 calls during the month, 85 contacts, 32 set appointments, 13 ran, and 2 sales. Your only disconnect right there is really that number of appointments run to the number of sales. You're about halfway to your target. Tamara, you got this. Go put in a couple more sales. We got today, tomorrow, and Friday. Guys, that's it. I'm going to close down my sharing. We got a great opportunity to smoke these numbers. Proud of all you guys. Let's go get it done. Let's show everybody that this team's got what it takes to hit our targets every week. Proud of you guys. That's it. See you over in the room.